Next up for review we have another grid style packaging release from 1984. Not entirely sure why I've left so many of these 1984 releases till right near the end, but there you go. This one's called Star Race. So this release is from 1984 and it comes in the grid style packaging, of course. It's got the burner fast load there, as you can see written in the corner, and it's got the logo that says Star Race. And if you look closely, amongst all that blurriness, there is a man in the cockpit of a spaceship and a big explosion going on, or a galaxy or a nebula or something in front of him. I'm not much of an astronomer, so I'm not sure exactly what it is. And there's a spine which says the logo with the grid in the background, and on the back got some loading instructions. Inside is one of the more colourful inlays for a 1984 Mastertronic release, at least compared to Sub Hunt, which I reviewed not so long ago, and it's also a lot more detailed. So there's a bit of blurb about the game. The planet Alpha 1 is dying, humanoids have to find another planet before all life resources are exhausted, and basically you're sending a spaceship through space and it's going to have to shoot stuff. So there's 5 levels mentioned. Galaxy 1 has ferocious alien inhabitants. Galaxy 2 has asteroids and fireballs. Galaxy 3 has the Federation mothership. Galaxy 4 also has a Federation mothership, but it looks like it's turned on you. And Galaxy 5 looks like you've got to land on the planet, which makes it sound a little bit like Lunar Lander. It says at the bottom there, now continue your patrol. It's got the controls as well. But there's nothing else inside in English, there's just the instructions again in the foreign languages. So this screen has just popped up. I'm not sure if the game is fully loaded or not. It's not a Darling Brothers game, so it's not exactly the same as their info screens, but it's pretty similar. You've got some blurb about finding new planets, etc. You're a space fighter patrolling the solar systems. Your task is to intercept the aliens and destroy them, but there's a problem. The Space Federation has set rules. Aliens that do not use firepower cannot be shot. Space pirates cannot be kept on board your ship. You cannot hold hostage any humans aboard your ship. It's very serious stuff. And then there's a game scenario. I think that's supposed to be scenario. There are 5 different galaxies to travel through. They are as follows. And there's a lot of detail about the different galaxies, which I'm not going to go through too much. Lots of information about the different stages. Probably won't see them all because I imagine it's going to be relatively difficult knowing early Mastertronic games. There's Galaxy 5, these were all mentioned in the instructions as well, of course. And finally, right, now it's loading a bit more data. Here's the title screen then, and as you can see the game is called Star Race, not Star Race like the front cover says. And it's copyright Mastertronic 1984, coded by Peter Milligan. And I've already had a couple of games, my high score currently is 684. Exciting stuff. So let's get on with the game. And you can't press fire to start, even though you can use the joystick. You have to press spacebar, or any key actually. Spacebar is my key of choice. So here I am in zone 1, and in zone 1 it looks like a scrolling shooter, except you're not allowed to shoot. Basically you just got to avoid these 3 spaceships which home in on you. And it's very easy to do. Sometimes I cock it up, but not usually. Basically you just move yourself into the corner, wait for them to get relatively close to you, and then move into the next corner. And you have to keep doing that until your score reaches around about 250, and then you move on to the next zone. Really boring stuff. If I didn't know better, I would have said that this was a Darling Brothers game, because it's got the same repetitive annoying music and pretty badly drawn graphics, very basic sort of layouts of the screen with everything across the top. Very like a Darling Brothers game, but as we've just seen from the title screen, it's not a Darling Brothers game. So that was the first zone completed. Move on to the second one, which again is avoiding stuff. You can't shoot anything. Well, you can fire on this stage at least, but firing does no good because you just got to avoid all these asteroids and space debris flying towards you. Again, it's just waiting until the score reaches a certain level. Really boring, terrible stuff. I'm not going to mince any words, this game is pretty awful. That's the end of zone 2. Moving on to zone 3, and this one's fairly original at least. You're the idea is to get to the ship at the top by moving yourself under the tractor beam. As you can see, when you're under the tractor beam, you get pulled towards the ship. Again, no firing can be done, and occasionally these asteroids will drop down the screen. If you hit them, you lose a life. So you have to sort of pull out of the tractor beam. So it's just a sort of how quickly can you get to the top of the screen without getting hit by the asteroids. When you get to the top, watch out for the typo on the screen. Bit of an in-game typo. Well done, you completed Zone 3. That's Zone 3 over. Now we're on to Zone 4, which is downright impossible. This spaceship goes across the top of the screen. Terrible collision detection there. I was nowhere near them missiles that flew down. So the idea is you've got to get 20 hits on this thing without getting hit by it once. Easier said than done. Again, that missile went straight past me, and yet I got blown up. So again, it's just avoid the missiles, try and hit the spaceship. Very challenging, very difficult to do, borderline impossible. One life left. And I'm dead. And my score was at 700 something. It's dropped all the way back to down to 660 something there. Weird scoring. Game over. Basically, it's bloody awful. There's no redeeming qualities about it at all, other than some slightly original ideas in the different stages. But when you get to that fourth stage, it's got to be impossible to get past that spaceship. I don't even want to persevere and try and get past it. So that's it. Not worth $1.99. Nothing more to say about it. Crap graphics, crap sound, crap levels, crap game.
If you only knew the power of the dark side.
2, 1, 0.